got 8 people already in, 6 o'clock. You guys are on time.
Very punctual group.
Very good. Thank you. Well, I'd like to welcome you to Granite State Cabinetry's kitchen webinar. And tonight's a really special webinar. We have some great features tonight, along with drinking wine. I hope everyone's got wine going. We have Amy Labelle, who's going to teach us how to make her favorite dish during this webinar. So I hope you guys stick around. I have a couple bottles of Labelle wine with me right now, and the winery is right down the street. So when you come to our showroom, you can literally stop by and have lunch at Labelle Winery. So I have a Riesling and I have a Red Alchemy and I have a Chardonnay. And the one I'm drinking tonight is a Malbec. So yeah, and it tastes really good. So I hope everybody at home can grab a glass of wine and sit back and relax. It's about 45 minutes to about 60 minutes, and we'll give you a lot of information on how to do a kitchen. So I'll start now. Thank you. My name is Frank Morris, and I am one of the owners of Granite State Cabinetry. My brother and I are second generation owners. My dad bought the business 25 years ago, so I literally grew up in it. I was a sophomore in high school when he bought it, and my first job when I had my license was delivering cabinets. So I started when I was 16 on the delivery truck, working in the warehouse, got to know all about cabinets, deliveries, installation, and then later on in college, I started in the showroom. So every Saturday I'd come back from college. I went down to in Boston, Merrimack College. So I'd drive up Saturday mornings. That was always fun. And I'd work in the showroom 10 to 4, gathering leads and talking to customers and learning about cabinetry and kitchen design. And that's really what I fell in love with in this industry. So I grasped design and sales, and that's where I focused my career on. And I've been in the cabinet business all my life. So we're going on almost 20 plus years here. Cannon to introduce herself, and we'll take it away.
Yeah, so hi everybody. Thank you, Frank. I am not a family member, but they sure do make me feel like family. I have worked for the Morris family for the last 13 years, so I'm on lucky 13. And I entered the business through the hospitality field. I was in hospitality for 25 plus years. I sold corporate group accounts, and I entered into that business because I graduated with a culinary degree as well as a Bachelor of Science degree in hospitality management. So much of my career is in the hospitality field, and I feel like that's a great blending piece to selling kitchens, because of course it's a really hospitable business. We're in your space for 6+ weeks, and we really love what we do, and hopefully it shows. But I enter your job kind of as the initial contact. So I'm the person that you spend a good hour long with, and we'll get into that later. But my passion for the kitchen lies in the functionality of the kitchen. I'm an accomplished home chef, and I really love being in the kitchen, and I'm a foodie too. So it plays well to selling kitchens each day.
Awesome.
Frank, did you want to talk a little bit about Zoom and how to ask questions?
Yep, definitely. So I know that we have, right now we have 13 people on, so thank you. If this is your first webinar or your first time on Zoom, don't worry, it's mine too. So if you have a question and you want to talk to us, we're more than happy to have this interactive as possible. So there's a Q&A button. You can certainly hit that button, type in your question, and we'll see it come up, and you can communicate with us that way. Also, we're going to take a list of all the people that are on here, and we're going to raffle a gift card to Labelle. So if you're here, great. We're going to put your name down, and hopefully you win that gift card. So here we go.
All right.
All right, so a little bit about us. Granite State Cabinetry is a local business here in Bedford. We're family owned, 25 years, second generation. We offer a complete in-house talented design, installation, and project management team. And we have over 100 years of combined kitchen experience. That is adding up everyone's multi-year career here at Granite State and also in the field. So we have myself, my brother, my sister, Mary Ellen, who does all of the scheduling and communicating with all of the customers and subcontractors. We have 4 amazing in-house designers. We have Sue, who handles all of our new customers. We have Linda, who we could not survive without in the accounting department. And then all the guys in the field, Jeff, Cliff, Dave, CJ, Nick. I could go on and on because all of the people that work in your house are all come together and are very similar to each other. And we all know the plan going in and are able to transform your space into a beautiful new kitchen. So why are we kitchen remodeling experts? Well, we're kitchen remodeling experts, not because we just have 100 years of experience, but we have this down to a science. We're going to do a couple hundred kitchen remodels this year. And bath remodels as well. So that is a lot of work, and no company can do that without a solid plan and a solid team put together. So we're really proud of that. Part of what we offer is we design many beautiful living spaces like this kitchen right here. This was recently completed, and I'm going to point out some features that I love. The island. And personally, I love those stools. Very, very cool bar stools for that island. But blue is trending. You can see a blue color island, a blue on the wall, and then obviously white. We still do white. Lots of white. 25 years ago, I was delivering white kitchens, and we're still delivering them today. We specify all the products. So one unique thing about Granite State Cabinetry is we sell all of the products that we install in your home. We sell everything except for the appliances, but we know the appliances really well, and our designers are very, very profound experts in the cabinetry, decorative hardware, countertops, plumbing fixtures, tile, flooring. They know the products that we sell very well. They know the manufacturers, and they're able to pull it all together for you for your kitchen. We plan the entire project, so that involves a lot of legwork up front. And there's a handful of people here at Granite State Cabinetry that can help you pull it all together so that you don't have to worry about it. There's a lot of decisions to be made, but we really have a system down to allow you to really kind of enjoy the process. You know, this is a big investment in your house, and we want to make sure that you're totally comfortable with whatever you're doing in your house, with whatever you're spending on your project. And we're here to do that. I have a question, a chat. Let's just see. Yes, I love the stools. Are they from Serena and Lily? I don't know. That's a great question, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out.
Yep. We execute the plan and manage the transformation of your home. And I mentioned Mary Ellen and my brother Pete, who is the project manager. They put a tremendous amount of time and effort into scheduling your job. Without that plan, there can be no fabulous outcome. So that takes a lot of work, and we pride ourselves in sticking to the schedule. And then finally, the best part at the end is we celebrate the completion of your dream, whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or any other part of the house or the whole house. This is the best part, to sit back, relax, enjoy a glass of wine, Labelle wine, and enjoy your space. So, Sue, take it away.
Sure. So a lot of people really are interested in how you get started. You know, how do we know what kitchens cost? How do you guys work? So it's very simple. We have you send us some images of your kitchen space. And I often love the images that are one shot, as much of the kitchen in that one frame as possible. And then, of course, if you can't get it in one frame because you have a big kitchen, then you send supporting frames. But we look at these pictures because we do so many kitchens and because we are so knowledgeable, we're able to really tell a lot from a picture. It paints a big story for us. So we can already tell, what we can do to this kitchen to make it better. How do we know? Because we've done many other kitchens like it. So pictures are very important. They tell us all about your existing kitchen, and then we either Zoom with you or we have an appointment in the showroom. So of course, if we're meeting in the showroom, we're very COVID conscious. We clean the showroom often, we clean our samples, we're all wearing masks, and we try to also space apart our appointments. If we meet via Zoom because you're concerned about that, you really don't miss out on much. Many of the Zoom appointments that I have are truly just as substantial as if they were in the showroom themselves. So we talk about all of the accessories that you're thinking about in the kitchen. We talk about color concepts. I'm not sure if the next slide, Frank, helps us with the next piece.
This is our source of pictures.
Okay. Yeah, so we kind of talk about, all the accessories, because of course accessories are very important to the functionality of your space. How can I easily grab a muffin tin or a cutting board or a sheet pan? What's the best storage for all of my Pyrex and Tupperware? What about utensils? Are there new ways to get that crock off my, countertop near my range? So we talk about all those better ways to stow things and kind of keep a clear and kind concept in the kitchen so that you don't feel like you're just too crowded and you don't feel a sense of, overall creativity and wellness. So that's our task, is to try and make the best concept for you. And also, of course, to talk about budget and talk about how much of the project are we doing. So I think there are other slides too that pertain to this. So I'll get into the two different ways we approach business. But without further ado, this is a great piece here that Frank is showing to get you kind of excited about choosing some inspiration. So when you come into the showroom, it's great to know what makes your heart beat. What's your dream? What is the compass that allows you to come to Granite State Cabinetry? What are your thoughts? What are your hopes? What do you love? So on our website, we have many great photos, a lot of great blogs. We pretty much take the appointment from soup to nuts as well on the website. So it's a good time to spend a few days, a few minutes toggling through that website. We show about 30 of our kitchens as well. House is where we're able to load all of our work. So all of the pictures we've taken in the last year or two get loaded onto House, and it's just a bigger premise. So you're able to see, I want to say 219 projects. The biggest piece of House that's so important when considering us is we've won the Best of House award for the last 8 years. Why is that important to you? Well, because we have been given the most amount of 5-star reviews by that platform, which is a huge accomplishment. So the other places to check out is our Facebook page. Mary Ellen in our office is our scheduler. She's fabulous with posting to Facebook, and to include Instagram. So a lot of times on Instagram, we post things that we're doing that are a little out of the ordinary. Recently, we got the privilege of installing out on Rattlesnake Island. And there was a video of the boat that took us over there and the crew that installed those kitchens. So of course, now we're a big popular commodity on Rattlesnake, so much that Frank wants to get a pontoon boat. So we have a lot of fun with what we do. We have a small team, and why that's great and important to you is because we all really love what we do. And I often hear from clients after they've had a kitchen installed from us, everybody who comes into our house is just so nice. You guys all seem to have such fun. And it's true, we really do. And hopefully we involve you in some of that fun as well.
Great. So some of the things that we're going to ask you about your specific space is, how do you want to change it? Do you want to keep within the existing space, or do you want to expand it into the next room? Trend today is definitely open concept. So we're taking walls down all the time, whether it's a load bearing wall and putting a beam up or a non-load bearing wall. It really allows people to just have that open concept feeling that people are looking for today. The picture on the left and the picture on the right is the before and after. So we took the wall down that the refrigerator is on, allowing the island to expand greatly into that eating area behind. The island probably tripled in size. And it made the kitchens feel a lot bigger and a lot more open concept to the first floor. This is another great example here. So the left top is the before and the after is right below that. And same thing on the right. The top picture is the before and the bottom picture is the after. So you can see where the range was. We took that wall down, opened it right up into that dining room, and was able to flip the range to the outside wall of the kitchen and add a nice big island, which really created a nice open feeling to this space. Again, we're showing some blue cabinets and some white cabinets, pretty trendy. We're showing some floating wood shelves on that back wall in between the two glass wall cabinets. Both very nice features. So we're going to ask you about doors and windows, because now is a great time to update those windows, make them bigger, make them wider, make them taller. If the window is 25 years old, it probably should be replaced anyway, because you can probably feel cold air coming in right now. So while we're gutting the kitchen, we often talk about new doors and windows and replacing those. We like to drop the window down to the counter to allow a lot of light in and let you see your beautiful backyard or your view.
And another great picture for this is lighting. See how the importance of lighting is in these two pictures? I never noticed it before, but when you see these two side by side, it's like, wow, look at the difference in lighting. So we added many can lights, we added under cabinet lighting, we added pendants over the island. So lighting is really huge in increasing the performance and the look of your beautiful new space.
Yep, absolutely. A lighting plan done by a person who understands lighting design is priceless. And fortunately, we offer that. Sue, quick question. Somebody's asking if they can convert, or we can convert the electric stove to a gas stove. Yes, we
Absolutely.
can.
We do it all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very common.
The only problem is it takes you about a 2-week learning curve if you have never used gas to kind of make the changeover. So that's a question that often I get from family members that are considering moving from electric to gas. I say, well, yeah, you should do it because gas is easier to cook on. It allows you to make better sauces. It allows you to have better consistent tally of the gas. But the negative is you burn everything you make for 2 full weeks till you're getting used to it.
Great. Let's see here. Next slide, please. This is another example of a new kitchen that we remodeled, and the window is new over the kitchen sink, but also we replaced the old drafty slider with a window and one single door. So we do door replacements all the time because they're often in the kitchen.
And I feel like in this particular instance, it made such a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Frank,
Absolutely.
somebody just asked, noticing all of our wood floors and asking if that's a trend in the kitchen spaces and why.
Well, here in New Hampshire, there are a lot of wood floors in kitchens. And it's common, it's comfortable, it's warm, it's softer than tile. So I think that it is definitely something that we're going to continue seeing for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only thing that wood we find doesn't hold up well to is big dogs. So that, and sometimes if you have a pool out back and you have a lot of traffic through your kitchen from the pool, those are the few instances that we might use a different product like a superior vinyl or a tile.
And if you are considering tile, we can heat the tile so that it's warm. So
right.
That's another feature.
Yep. That too.
Yep. So along with the actual layout of your space, we're very interested. We're also interested in learning about your style and what appeals to you. And that's a hard question to answer sometimes if you don't really know. So we're really fortunate to have many displays here in the showroom that shows all different types of styles of kitchens. Quickly though, I'm going to look at modern on the left and farmhouse on the right. One thing to look at both pictures here, they both feature the wood floating shelves. I mentioned that a few slides ago. That is definitely a trend that we're seeing a lot of today. Gold hardware in both kitchens, but these are two popular styles that we see a lot of. Two other styles are craftsman or traditional. Craftsman is featured on the top picture, more mission styled. Traditional we saw about 10 years ago. We still do our handful of traditional kitchens every year. It's more ornate, more detailed, often a raised panel style door. But really today, what we see most of is transitional. Sue, do you want to explain what transitional is?
Yeah, sure. Transitional is that sweet spot right in the middle. So if you're not sure what you are, you're probably transitional. So you're not really traditional. You don't really want a lot of embellishments. You don't really like that kind of bigger, robust look. And you're not really contemporary either, because that look might be a little too sleek for you. So I find myself being transitional. So it's a clean, classic. I don't want to say simple because it can get very embellished. Like if you notice the picture on the right with the beautiful hood shape, the tile that lays beautifully up the wall of the hood, kind of some fun ornamental lighting. You'll notice the finish on the lighting is also kind of duplicated on the stools. So we're trying to make some fun, incremental changes so that the kitchen never feels cookie cutter or similar to someone else's. And we do that by adding these little nuances. In the kitchen on the left, beautiful tile backsplash. That's actually a sea green. This homeowner was raised in coastal Maine. So she really wanted to have a little bit of the look of Maine in her kitchen, and that spoke to her. And then we also painted the walls a coastal sea green. So her stools also kind of have that awesome kind of thatched seagrass look. So although this home is in Brookline, it could be anywhere. So those are the nuances that we were able to implement into her kitchen to complete that transitional look.
Nice. A lot of white kitchens here.
I know. We always feel bad showing too much white, but it is the trend right now.
Yep. Two more whites here. Along with white cabinets, we're going to talk about countertops and all of the choices. We're going to explain what the pros and cons are of granite versus quartz, talk about wood countertops. And those are the main three that we see our customers choosing. And it really boils down to colors and choices and how you're going to use your countertop.
Frank loves a good wood counter though.
Yep, I do like wood counters, warm and soft. Appliances play a huge role in any kitchen design. So we want to give you a quick education on what appliances would be best suited for your kitchen or for your family. Refrigerator, the biggest appliance in there. You can do a built-in with panels like the one on the left. You can do a freestanding refrigerator like the one in the middle, or numerous styles of under-counter refrigerators, such as beverage refrigerators like we see there, or refrigerator drawers, which are really handy.
Mm-hmm. And the one piece that has been hit the hardest with COVID is appliances. So we do ask for you to kind of look and shop around for appliances early because we want to get those on order so that we're sure that they're here when we need them.
Yes, good point. Absolutely. Cooking appliances, whether it's a range or a cooktop and wall ovens, there are steam ovens. Again, we talked about gas versus electric. Wall microwaves, all kinds of different styles of cooking. Comes down to what you like and what you have room for in your space.
Mm-hmm. And we have a great partner over at Barron's. His name is Ross Ewald, and Ross is the sharpest tool in the shed about appliances.
Yep.
So 5 minutes or 25 minutes with Ross, and you come out feeling like you've won the lottery. He really takes a great amount of time showing you a lot of different concepts, spending time to find out about your cooking style, what you need, what you don't need, and is never trying to sell you more than your cooking style requires. So he's located over at Barron's in Manchester, and just a special plug to see Ross.
Absolutely. Plumbing fixtures. We have a lot of different styles to choose from, and that is going to come down to your sink style, whether it's an apron front, an undermount sink. Faucets are very, very trendy today. Gold happens to be a very popular finish that we see a lot of faucets. Also matte black, like this bridge faucet here. And there's faucets for prep. There's faucets for cleaning. There's faucets for drinking water. All different types of plumbing fixtures that we can help you decide what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Quick list of other products that we have in the showroom here are flooring. We mentioned tile and hardwood, but we also have some luxury vinyl. We have a ton of tile backsplash to look at, and that can be really overwhelming, but we make it super simple for you.
Absolutely.
And our decorative hardware. Go ahead, Sue.
And our team is really well versed in all of these products. And once they've come to your house and kind of get an idea of your design style, and of course they work with you in depth, they make this process so easy. They're holding your hand through each and every step. They really hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
In addition, we love providing a one-stop shop, so you aren't forced to go here, there, and everywhere. Your designer becomes kind of you and she in this together, and they really, really help to hold your hand so you never feel taxed at making any of those decisions. And also you're relying on their design flair with your style in mind.
Yep, absolutely. Our next topic that we want to talk quickly about is determining your budget. And a lot of people have no idea what a kitchen costs, and we're here to help educate you and make you understand, or allow you to understand, what influences your total cost. So really quickly and simply, I'm going to look at two kitchens here, one on the left at 72,000 and one on the right at 34,000. It all really comes down to the products that you select and how embellished the design becomes. And by embellished, what I mean is not necessarily custom or anything that describes some outrageous design. It really comes down to the size of the space and what you want to put in it, because that's what boils down the final budget numbers. These are very similar style. They're L-shaped kitchens with an island. The one on the left is a custom color selected by a color fan, probably a Benmore or Sherwin-Williams color. The island is large, has features such as a wine rack. This is inset cabinetry, which we'll explain to you, but it does come at a little bit more expensive style of cabinets. The one on the right, again, L-shaped kitchen with an island. This is a more affordable brand of cabinets, still very good quality cabinet made in Minnesota here, but it's just not quite as expensive. Our goal is to design and sell a kitchen that you want to pay for. That's the bottom line. We don't want to design a kitchen for 72,000 and only have the budget be at 34. So we're really good at educating you on what they cost based on other projects that we've done that are similar to yours, and showing you how to get to the budget that you want to spend. So Sue, what's included in the price that we provide?
Yeah, so as many of our customers appreciate, I always use my hands for this example. So it just makes it easy for you to understand after the webinar. So on the left hand, we always have the basics: cabinetry, countertops, sink faucet, hardware, installation. So this is always kind of the basic package through Granite State Cabinetry. We provide this on each and every kitchen. On this hand, we have what's called the scope of work piece. Scope of work is any and all of the things that your home may need in an effort to get this kitchen installed. So starts with the demo and removal of all of the cabinetry and countertops and sometimes flooring. If you have tile now and you're going to hardwood, for example, or you have hardwood now and it needs to be refinished. So demo and removal, the flooring, the plumbing rough, the electrical, drywall. Sometimes that means if you have a backsplash now, we have to cut that out in an effort to get you a new one. Sometimes people don't like the god awful patterns of some of your ceilings and they want a flat ceiling. So that's involved with drywall. And then the flooring installation, framing and trim work comes into place if we're replacing a window or a wall. And then lastly, painting, wallpaper, tile. So this hand goes on and on and on, depending upon the size of the project. We offer all of this hand and this hand too, and it's up to you to determine how much you need us to be involved. We are absolutely open to you handling the scope of work piece. We added that to our equation about 10 years ago, just in an effort to get folks from point A to point B. But we're not interested in this hand if you have your own folks and you have the skill set to manage those folks or make those calls on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Great. So I'm going to take you through an experience that you would get if after you've already had your initial consultation with Sue, and now begins the fun process of designing and seeing your kitchen come to life. So after you meet with Sue, you will be introduced to a designer, one of our 4 great designers here. And we're going to take you through the showroom and we're going to make all kinds of selections. And again, nothing set in stone, but it could be if you do fall in love with these products. So we're going to pick a door style, we're going to pick a finish, we're going to pick a countertop, we're going to pick a color, we're going to pick decorative hardware, your sink, your faucet. We're going to put it all together in what we call a storyboard. So these are all the products that we're looking at and what you're thinking about potentially being in your new space. It's the storyboard. After that selection process, the designer goes to work designing your kitchen. And we're going to show you computer renderings of what it would look like. And you'll come back here into the showroom and you'll see these on a big screen right in front of you. They're very realistic and they really describe exactly what the space will look like. The benefit to these computer renderings are you're allowed to see the space before you commit. So let's say you want the island here in this layout, but you're thinking about another possible location for that island or the location for that table, or you want to add the bookcases. Now's the time to make sure that you're fully committed with the design and see what it looks like as realistic as possible. So those were a real storyboard that you selected. Those were real renderings that we produced for you. And now here's the before and after of your kitchen. Woo. The top is the before, the bottom is the after, obviously. And you can see how realistic those computer renderings were to the
finished product.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I would say we would hit it out of the park on those.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that change to their home?
Yeah, this is a great kitchen. Again, blue and white trending today, definitely. I should show you gray kitchens because gray kitchens are definitely popular today too. Yeah, yeah. This window replacement is called a picture window. It does not open. It has no grills in it. It's wide and goes down to the counter. A cool feature that you don't see a lot of is the homeowner replaced the window trim just with tile. So the tile backsplash wraps right into the window. I love that look.
Me too.
The far left here, I'm going to show you that blue island. It's blue when the sun shows on it, but at night it really looks black.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool picture.
You can see it in that second picture.
Yep. So a beautiful finished kitchen. People love before and afters. This is another different job here. If you love before and afters and you want to see more of them, go on our website. We have a whole section of the website dedicated to just before and afters.
And our house page too has the first slide is all before and afters.
Okay. Before and afters are fun to look at.
Mhm.
The tops are before and the afters are below. We knocked the wall down going into the old dining room to increase, literally double the size of the kitchen.
Mhm.
Um, white with walnut and some walnut floating shelves. So how long does this take? Well, that's a great question. And it varies depending on how big the scope of the project is. But generally, on average, we're in someone's house from 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks if it's a really big, extensive project. While we're in the house, we set up what we call zip walls. They're plastic walls that separate your living space from the workspace. All the guys are protected, wearing masks, but also we're protecting your home. We're protecting the stuff that's in it, the furniture and your flooring. And we take a lot of work to make you guys as comfortable as possible while living through this process.
So Frank, just a question from Owen. He asked, what is the lead time for the overall process from start to finish?
Yep.
How long does each phase take, including into account the wait list for your services? How long does the demo and construction process take on average? And how long is the disruption to his house?
Okay, so good question. I'll answer it as simply as possible. So what we'll call the design phase or the planning phase, that can take as long as you want it to take. We don't want it to take forever. So we're generally going to say, 2 to 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of work, time invested between you and the kitchen designer, of intense planning and picking products.
Mhm.
From that point, we order the cabinets. The cabinets today are taking anywhere from 5 to 9 weeks, depending on the brand. Once the cabinets arrive, we are able to start at the house. So that point of starting at the house generally takes 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the project. So overall, I mean, we could talk 3 months from absolute start of planning to completion. But it could go longer depending on how long you take to pick things out and how extensive the project is.
Yeah, and two, we are, with COVID, of course, everyone's at home hating their spaces. So business has never been better. So if you are interested in a kitchen, now is the time to kind of act on it. Our team is working truly almost round the clock trying to get these amazing kitchens done and completed. And our scope of work team is really, dedicated to make it happen. So, you get our solemn vow that we'll do whatever we can if you want to invest in a great new kitchen. Now's the time to do it.
Absolutely. Barbara, you're asking if this is going to be recorded. Yes, we're recording it, and we will send everybody a link to the recording. And so what's next? We invite you to join us on a follow-up webinar on the 25th, or give us a call, email us. That's the best way to get in touch with us.
Yeah, so the last webinar I did, I want to say we had 8 people respond after the webinar, sending me pictures, telling me where they lived, talking about pieces to their puzzle. And we get right on that. We start setting up Zoom calls or appointments in the showroom. I do want to mention we don't do scope of work in mass. So that is something that I like to just say, because sometimes we have guests join us for mass. We can do cabinet and counter installs in mass, but we cannot do the scope of work piece. So that's the demo and removal and kind of all the contractor stuff. But we do have contractors to refer you to that work in mass each day.
Yep.
So send us your inquiries, send us your pictures. We can get going. We're really grateful that you spent the time with us tonight. We really, really hope to have the pleasure of working with you. And I know Frank wants to talk a little bit about the preview for Amy coming up.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm excited to see Amy cook a dish, because I want to try to actually make it this weekend at my house.
Right.
So I am going to share this video with you guys, and Also, I will be adding your names to the list, and right after the video, we'll pick the magic winner. And
for $100 gift card at Labelle. And Labelle
absolutely.
serves awesome lunch and dinners. I don't know if you haven't treated yourself, but if you haven't, you should. They have a fabulous menu, great chef, great wines, great gift shop. So check it out. You'll enjoy it.
All right. Let's see here. This is my first
What's
Zoom.
our theme? My first Zoom sharing a video.
Screen sharing is stopped. Share screen.
Hi there, I'm Amy Labelle from Labelle Winery, and I welcome you to Granite State Cabinetry's Vacation from Your Own Kitchen. You know, I'm typically a winemaker, that's how I got started, but I also really love to cook. And that's how my cooking classes got born and how I got into the art of showing folks how to make great, wholesome, healthy food at home. And tonight, we're gonna show you how to make authentic Italian gnocchi so that you can feel like you're in Italy, even if you're only in the comfort of your own kitchen. And this year, I think we could all use a little bit of that. So there's millions of ways to make gnocchi. This is just one way. We're doing a potato gnocchi tonight. What I love about this recipe is it's an incredibly simple recipe. It uses just a few ingredients, and we're gonna transform them into something really magical and delicious. I mean, that's one of the beauties of Italian cooking in general. You know, the ingredients are simple and they really just shine through, and you can add a lot of your own touches and twists on it to make it amazing. So let's get started with a quick tour of our ingredients. I hope you have these all on hand at home so you can follow along and make some of this at home with me. Obviously, we've got flour. I like to use King Arthur flour. It's local, it's got a really nice protein content, so it makes everything so delicious. So just an all-purpose flour works for this. We've got a 1/4 cup of ricotta cheese. I like to use a full fat ricotta, not a skim or fat-free ricotta. Eat the fat, it's fine. And then you've got 1 egg cracked. We're gonna use some of that, maybe not all of it, but I think it's really hard to use a half an egg. The recipe calls for a half, so I put 1 in the bowl, I've whisked it up, and I'm gonna use it, and we might use a little extra depending on how wet our dough is, which will depend on how wet our potatoes are. So in this bowl, I've got 1½ baked potatoes. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with the other half. These were just leftovers from a dinner I had a couple days ago. So it's a great use for leftover potatoes if you have them. You can even use mashed potatoes if you have those on hand. So I hate to waste food. You know, good quality food is expensive, and I want to make sure I'm using up all those little bits and leftovers in my kitchen, you know, in my fridge. So this is a great use for leftovers. So we've got 1½ potatoes. They're kind of like shredded, crushed, mashed. You don't want to process these in a food processor like a Cuisinart, because it's really going to make them kind of gluey. So you just crush them with a potato masher or with your hands or with a fork. And then I'll just show you how I did this one. This is a half of a baked potato. It's been in my fridge for like 2 days, but we don't want to waste that. So I just kind of pulled out the potato with a fork, and I used the fork to score it several times so that it would all come out in little tiny pieces. And this is a really easy process to just get this out of the shell. You leave the shells behind for this recipe. I guess if you're really talented, you could leave a little potato in the shell and then make yourself some potato skins. I used to love those. I haven't had some in a long time. I think it's time to put those on our restaurant menu. All right, so that's good enough. Got just the shell left over, and we're gonna mash up the big pieces. So now I've got about 2 cups. You get about a cup per potato. I've got about 2 cups of just minced up potato pieces. No big deal. We're gonna put almost all of this egg. Like I said, you know, I'm gonna leave a little behind in the bowl, and we'll see if we need it later. And I'm gonna put in our ricotta cheese. Again, that's a 1/4 cup. We want to throw in some pepper. I really like black pepper, so I'm kind of generous, but you know, 1/2 teaspoon or so. This is 1/2 teaspoon, and don't be shy on the salt in this recipe because these are kind of bland ingredients. They need a little life. At this point, you can make a decision too if you want to add some fresh herbs, if you have some on hand. That would be really nice. You could do sage or thyme or oregano, whatever you enjoy. And we're gonna just give this a quick stir. We're gonna be kneading this again, so you don't have to go too crazy, but mix that all together so it's not running all around your board. All right, it's mixed, so now we're just gonna dump it right onto your counter or right onto the middle of the board like I have here. And you see you've got kind of like a wet pile of potatoes. So we want to make a well in the middle of these. Like when I teach things like this to kiddos, I always say it looks like a volcano. I want to make a little volcano hole in the middle, and we're going to start adding flour. I like to cook with my hands. I think your hands are really good tools, clean hands. So we're going to add, well, probably half the flour, and then we're going to see where we're at, because potatoes can hold a lot or a little moisture, and we're just going to kind of see how this shakes out. The moisture content also depends a little bit on the weather. If it's a really humid day or whatever's happening with Mother Nature will also impact. I should tell you, if you have a ricer at home to make mashed potatoes with, that's a really good way to break up these potatoes nicely. So if you have a ricer, think about using that to get these potatoes nice and fine to be blended into this dough. You're gonna have to knead this till it all comes together. This dough is only going to take as much flour as it barely needs to stay together. So you don't want to add too much flour up front. So we're going to just keep working this with our hands. This is why this is a really fun project for the kids, because they get to get their hands dirty. My kids love cooking in the kitchen. I think it's really wonderful family time. So we're gonna, when you're kneading, you want to use the heel of your hand, and it's okay if you're getting all messy. That's cool. It'll clean up. It's just potatoes. So this is starting to come together, but I feel like I want it to be just a little bit, it's a little bit dry, so I'm going to put a little bit more of my egg. You've kind of got to judge that for yourself at home. And then again, continue to use the heel of your hand. Oh, see, just that little bit's going to make a big difference in bringing this together. When this dough feels like it's cohesive and into one awesome ball of potato dough, then I'm going to flour the board and we're going to roll it out to gnocchi. It's as easy as that. And what I would be doing if I was going to cook these right off, I'm not going to do that for you right now, but what I would be doing while I was making this dough is I'd have a pot of boiling water behind me that's been heavily salted. And these cook up in no time at all. So 2 minutes, and you're 2 minutes to a really nice, fresh, homemade dinner, which frankly costs pennies to make compared to buying these at the store pre-made. So I think it's a wonderful budget stretcher, this dinner as well. All right, I need a little more flour. I'll roll that out on our dough, on our board. And I'm gonna see if I can get my hands cleaned off a little. Usually when I cook with my hands like this, I try really hard to keep one hand clean. I didn't do that today. But if you have to answer the phone, it's nice to have one clean hand. Or if you have to get one ingredient that you forget. Which, oh, it reminds me to tell you that the reason I measure out all my ingredients in advance is because I like to make sure I'm not missing anything. So that way, if you get distracted, you can be sure that, oh, did I put in the salt? Oh, did I put in the egg? Sometimes, life is busy and you have the kids running around or whatever's happening. And so it's nice to measure out all your ingredients in advance. And the French chefs call that mise en place. That means everything in its place. So then you know that you got all your ingredients in. So what I'm gonna do just to demonstrate for you is cut off about 1/4 of what we've just made. And I wanna begin to form this into a log shape, kind of like a rope. And I think this needs a little more kneading first, so I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna make that log. And you know what? These bench scrapers, if you have one at home, are awesome tools to clean up your boards, to make sure you have the right amount of clean work surface. All right, now I'm gonna put a little more flour down, And we're gonna work this a little bit more just to make sure that's all sticking together really nice. There we go. That's looking better. All right, now we've got dough. See, this is really becoming one nice cohesive ball. All right, now we're gonna go into our log shape. And like I said, if you're making this right away, you've got a pot of water on the stove next to you or behind you. And you can work this just gently until you've got kind of maybe a 1/2 inch long piece of dough. And if it's getting too long on your board and it's getting out of control, just cut it in half and put some aside and you can keep going. This is a very forgiving recipe. So, and you have all this great work with your arms. That's why all the grandmas in Italy had great arms. They're always working on dough in the kitchen, whether it was pasta dough. This is very similar to how do you make pasta dough. All right, now I have kind of a rope shape, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut that into my gnocchi. And I'm gonna use my bench scraper to cut. These are great because they've got rounds and flat edges. You just kind of wanna make maybe 1 inch, 3/4 inch pieces. Look at that, that's like an appetizer portion. I'm gonna cut off the rounded edge on that one. So they're like little appetizer portions. If I did all of this dough, I'd have plenty for dinner for my family. I could put it in a tomato sauce. I could put it in a brown butter sauce with sage, which is going to be included in the recipe you're looking at today. And if you see, the shape is really cute. It looks like a little pillow. In France, they like to pipe these out of a piping bag right into boiling water, which is also a really nice way to do it. But this is a very traditional method. And if you want to decorate them, you can. You can roll them across the edges of a fork so they have little indents in them. But I like them plain. It doesn't bother me. The indents are kind of nice because they hold the sauce a little bit better. So if you like a heartier sauce and you want it to really stick to your gnocchi, then the indents are kind of helpful for that. That's why a lot of pasta is indented so it can hold sauce. And you don't have to fuss with them too much. They're going to taste great. So at this point, they're done. All you have to do is pop these in a pot of boiling water with salt, lots of salt. Don't be shy on the salt. You pop them in there for maybe 2 minutes. Wait till they rise to the top. When they're floating on the top, you know they're done. And you leave them for like 15 to 30 seconds after they float to the top of that surface. Scoop them out with a slotted spoon. And then you can put a plain butter sauce on them. You can do a brown butter sauce, which, like I said, we included in this recipe card so that you know how to make that as well. You can use tomato sauce. You could use a butternut squash cream sauce or a Sable Blanc wine sauce. The options are endless with this kind of simple food palette, which is something that I really love when I make these for my family. And my kids love them. They're fun to eat. They're just like one little bite, and they're a lot of fun. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing how to make authentic Italian gnocchi. This is just one way. And if you try this at home and you enjoy it, maybe it'll start you on an exploration of all the different ways that you can try to do this at home. So I hope that this sparked some creative fun for you for this winter and that you enjoyed vacationing in your own kitchen. Have some Italian wine, or better yet, have some Labelle wine with this meal, and you can't go wrong. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you sometime soon at Labelle Winery.
Perfect.
Awesome. And just so everybody knows, you will get a copy of the recipe emailed to you tomorrow, as well as the video.
That's right. That was great.
It was.
Yeah.
Made me
Question-
hungry.
Yeah, me too. I am making those this weekend. I'll let everybody know how it goes. Question and answer time real quick. Do you come to the house for consult? Our space flows into an addition and may be hard to capture in photos. I can tell you we've seen awful photos and some crazy spaces. If we feel like we can't understand it, we might ask for a FaceTime, where you can walk through with a video. But no, the initial consultation is not at the house. It's through Zoom.
Yeah, but do know that second appointment is in your home. So we come out, with our project manager, we come out with a kitchen designer and myself, and we're standing in the space at that point. So the second visit is always in your home. just to
Yes.
set your mind at ease.
Yep, absolutely. We always come to the house.
Yeah. So,
So-
let's pull a winner, Frank.
Okay.
Who's going to win
So,
this gift certificate?
I have everyone's name on this fancy spinner here.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at you. It's a
Right?
good thing I wasn't in charge of this.
Yeah. Thank you to Ava Freiberg, one of our designer's daughters, who introduced me to the app called Make a Dinner Choice. And you can,
Wow,
you can edit
cute.
this. All right, so here we go. All I have to do is push spin and we have a lucky winner. So,
Spin it. Oh, I love this.
and the winner is Linda. So
Linda
Linda,
who?
I think there's only one Linda.
Okay, let's
Let
see
me
who
see.
Linda is.
Linda
Let's-
Newell. Linda Newell.
Yay.
You're the winner of the $100 to Labelle. So
So
we will,
Linda, you have to get us your regular address.
yeah,
we
so
can
call
send it
us
out.
tomorrow and tell us
Yeah.
you're the winner and we'll get that gift card to you. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
Thank you all very much. We had fun. We hope you enjoyed the addition of Labelle and making it feel a little different so that you could, feel the passion she has for her kitchen, obviously, and the passion you'll have for your kitchen, especially after you let us get our hands on it.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you for your time
All
tonight.
right.
Enjoy
Thank
Labelle.
you. Hope to hear from you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.